Hello, everybody. In today's interview, I am joined by SmokeySkullMoosic, the creator of the fan-made series, Skibidi Trashcan, who has been a part of the community for a long time. We're going to talk about what got him into creating Skibidi Toilet content, his creative process, and his thoughts on the current situation impacting the community. This interview was done over messages, and I do appreciate him taking the time to do this. Let's get into it. What originally got you into creating Skibidi Toilet content?
I've always wanted to be an animator. I tried when I was younger, but I never really got good. When I started watching Boom, he greatly motivated me to try 3D animation. I tried out SFM for the first time and really enjoyed it. Eventually, I thought that I could maybe try to make an original fan-made series like many others were beginning to. I was scared at first because I knew I wasn't a good animator, but something convinced me to give it a try. I was always a fan of Skibidi Toilet, and now that I had my own fan-made version of it, it got me even more hooked to the series.
How would you describe your creative process when working on a new video?
When I begin working on a new episode, I always sit down and plan out the events for the episode. I often will cut things out to shorten the video to get it out sooner, or I will rethink the events entirely to align more with the plot I've been creating slowly. I try to find maps that will be a perfect match for the tone of the episode, and recently, if that's not possible, I create my own. There's a lot of work to be done in lighting, particles, and especially animation to meet current fan-made standards. I always try to improve in some way each episode, and I often struggle to do so.
What has been the biggest challenge of running your channel so far?
Definitely meeting modern expectations. The bar has raised so much since I published my first episode. It feels like everyone nowadays are so good and experienced, and at times it can feel like I'm being left behind in the dust. But it is partially my fault for slacking, and I won't let that time lost keep me down.
What part of being a creator do you find the most rewarding?
I can say without a doubt that the community that is built over time is the most rewarding aspect. There are so many people in my life now that I consider friends thanks to what I've made being a content creator. It also makes me so happy to hear when people are motivated by what I have done and they go on to create great things. And sometimes it's so hard to comprehend that. It brings me joy knowing that I've hopefully made someone's day better, or at least more enjoyable.
How has your channel changed or grown since you first started?
Back in the day, I would usually upload anything I wanted, because it's not like I had a lot of viewers. But now, I only wish to give people something that I have polished as much as possible. I solely publish animations, and I want to be known for that.
What inspired you to start your own fan-made series? And how did Skibidi Trashcan come together?
When I realized that people were creating their own ideas and fan-made concepts about Skibidi Toilet, I began thinking about a unique series that no one has ever thought of or acted on before. I came to the realization that trash cans seemed like a good foundation and potentially a good idea. So now that I come to think about it, I believe that is what inspired me and gave me motivation. I wanted to do it before anyone else could, despite my skills. At that point, Skibidi Trashcan was my sandbox, and I learned heavily from working on it.
When you first started the series, did you expect it to gain the attention it did?
Absolutely not. Like I mentioned previously, I basically continued doing it because I was learning so much by doing it. It was also pretty fun working on it while being on a call with friends in the fan-made community, formerly known as Ditter server back in the olden days.
What's something you've learned as a creator that you didn't expect when you first started?
I've learned that getting at least decent at something requires a ton of time and devotion. I would always rush into things and give up on something if I wasn't good at it right away. SFM and Skibidi Toilet has changed that part of me. I understand how people get good at animation, and I hope to someday be there too.
How has working on a full fan-made series changed the way you approach content creation?
It has made me want to put as much detail as possible in videos. Before the series, I didn't bother much on subtle details, but now I do. The smallest things can be the biggest. Every time I get ready to go, I sit down at my desk and think about what I could maybe do to outdo my previous video. Sometimes it doesn't always go to plan, but I often learn and grow from it. It's awesome being able to have a progressive series that you can control.
Looking ahead, what are you hoping to focus on next with your channel or the series?
If something happens to Skibidi Toilet and I am forced to quit my series, I will adapt the plot into another one with characters that deviate away from anything related to Skibidi, but also retaining some in a new form. Hopefully that doesn't happen. In the future, with the series still going, I want to turn it into something that does things that no other series has done, and create twists that no one has seen or experienced yet. I have some really cool ideas for the future, so I hope I make it there.
When did you first become aware of the recent situation involving invisible narratives?
I had a weird feeling when Skibidi Toilet 79 Part 3 came out. But as soon as Skibidi Emergence came out, I knew something definitely wasn't right. Something felt so wrong, but there was no proof of it. That was until the message where Boom revealed he was stepping down was posted. When I read that, I felt immense dread. There's no way that Boom would willingly step down from his series in such a way. And ever since then, things haven't been looking good.
Has this situation affected you personally or influenced how you approach making content?
It made me feel bad for Boom, as well as killing a majority of motivation for a while. But most of all, it's got me afraid that invisible narratives might do something to my channel, like striking it out of existence.
Do you think fan creators are being impacted differently than other creators right now?
Yes, most likely. Some content creators don't have to worry because they've already established a completely new series. It also has a lot to do with your following count. If you have a comfortable 1,000 subscribers, for example, you are not as likely to be targeted rather than someone with 500,000. Of course, that doesn't mean smaller creators aren't upset.
What do you think people outside the Skibidi Toilet community misunderstand about what's happening?
Many people outside of the community see what's happening and believe that it is some amazing thing, but most don't care. I know for a fact most don't really know what's happening because they don't care enough or bother to look deeper into it simply because it's Skibidi Toilet. If they try to understand it even a little bit, they probably see it as Boom trying to get rich off selling the IP.
What changes would you like to see moving forward for creators in this space?
I want to see more creative ideas, and if Invis isn't going away, I want them to be nicer to their community and not suck the creators dry. I haven't seen any other company do this to fan-made animations/series revolving their IP. I really want to see this community go back to its prime. But if things keep going the way they are now, I don't think that's possible. I just so much missed potential. I'm also kind of getting tired of the same what-ifs animated by different people over and over and over again. How can you make the same what-if multiple times? Just make a series, please.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the community or to people who support your work?
Really, the only thing I can say is thank you to everyone who participated in this community. Everyone has created memories for others, and that's an awesome thing.
I just want to say a big thank you to SmokeySkullMoosic for taking the time to answer these questions and share his thoughts with the community. He is one of the creators who genuinely cares about Skibidi Toilet. If you guys want to support him, I'll have his links in the description down below. Definitely go check him out. His series is absolute cinema. And as always, thanks for watching.